The M41 Walker Bulldog was an American light tank designed and produced around 1949 to 1951. It was intended to fill the role of its predecessor, the M24 Chaffee, as a highly maneuverable armored reconnaissance vehicle, capable of performing aggressive reconnaissance. It was armed with a 76mm gun and was lightly armored, mostly proof against small arms and autocannons. By the time of its production in 1950, the tank's weight had ballooned to nearly 52,000 pounds, large enough to be classified as a medium tank had it been deployed during the Second World War. The M41 saw action during the Korean War and was not popular with its crews, owing to its unreliable gun, cramped interior, and its massive size for a light tank, making it difficult to reconnoiter discreetly. It was also intended for airborne deployment, but ended up being far too heavy for that to be even remotely practical. With the introduction of better armored Soviet tanks, the M41 76mm was no longer effective enough to be used in frontline service, and was replaced by the lighter and more heavily armed M551 Sheridan, which led to the US selling or donating its stockpiles to their allies, including Japan, South Korea, and even Brazil. In War Thunder, the tank performs very well. It's far more mobile than most of the tracked vehicles found at 6.3. With 500 horsepower propelling the M41 to a max speed of 72 km per hour, and weighing 23.1 tons, the M41 had a very respectable 21.6 horsepower per ton, despite its larger stature for a light tank. Its 76mm gun is very effective for the battle ready, being a much later development of the 76mm found on the Shermans and Hellcats of the Second World War. The rounds the M41 fires are much later and far higher velocity than what the earlier 76mm fired, including an AP round with 177mm of penetration at 975 meters per second, and a Sabo round with 300mm of penetration at 1257 meters per second. Both of these rounds are great, but the Sabo is somewhat lackluster when it comes to post-penetration damage. There's also an HVAP round, but I wouldn't even bother using it. The tank also comes with a 50 cal, as almost every American tank does, and it comes with the ability to use artillery and spotting. I'm a really big fan of the M41. Just 76mm is really fun to use against World War II vehicles, and I really like the AP round. Although the Sabo pens like 300mm or something, which is kind of crazy for the battle rating. The AP actually does damage after it penetrates stuff, and it's really annoying to shoot a guy on the side like 4 times and then have your kill get stolen. You basically like have to direct hit the ammo with the Sabo, or direct hit like an important component like the turret drive or something, because a lot of the time it'll either just turn a guy orange or something, or just do like no damage when it passes through a tank. And I think it's kind of hard to do if you're a new player and you don't know where all the ammo layouts are on tanks. So I think it kind of has a, with the Sabo and the AP, it has a higher skill floor, but also a higher skill ceiling. Because once you know how to like really use them properly, they're actually pretty good rounds. Especially the AP, I think it's just generally very good. Sabo having like 300mm of pen is kind of insane for 6.3, but it only weighs like 2.5 kilograms. So it's really common for it to bounce or shatter off of any surface that isn't like flat on to the actual penetrator, or like really close to that. Also, I'm pretty sure just with the difference in width between the Sabo and the AP, if I had Sabo loaded there, that just wouldn't have killed that guy, which I'm glad it did. I think I might do a video on a plane next, or maybe a Russian tank, I'm not sure. Maybe leave a comment if you have an opinion on this matter. I was thinking maybe like a T-64, or maybe maybe like a Chinese plane. I really like the Chinese air tree. Maybe like a prop or something. I don't know. I really did not want that King Tiger's turret to just eat my rounds, so that's why I waited for a second. Cause he probably would have just turned around and vaporized me in like one shot. Killing stuff with the 50 cal is always really fun. I really like John Browning. He's the guy. He invented that thing in like 1917, or at least like an earlier version, and we still use it on like tanks and armored personnel carriers and like Humvees. I don't know if they still use those, but stuff like that. Also, I unfortunately don't get to drop the Snook, but I've already dropped like 10 of them before. So I do like the B-29 though. I think it's a really cool plane, and even though it like genuinely fucking sucks as a nuke carrier, it's fun to fly something this big. Mostly because of how unwieldy it is. I wish this game had some sort of enduring confrontation mode, where matches were decided by objectives instead of tickets and a set timer. Something more like Battlefield, maybe with like limited respawns for the attacking team or something. I forgot what that mode's called in Battlefield, but it's just kind of lame when, especially in the air mode, when it's like late game and you've got like a 1v1 or even like a 1v2. And the game just ends because the AI units just kill each other on the ground. It's less of a problem in ground because it's almost entirely player decided, but the game's still like hard capped at a certain amount of time. And I think it'd be cooler to just be able to play for longer, honestly. I guess if you've made it this far in the video, now's probably a good time to ask you if you think the longer videos, like 12 to 15 minutes, are better, or if you like the shorter, like 3 to 15 minute videos. Also, if I should have the history part of the video be like a separate thing, or if it's good at the start. I could also maybe put it at the end. I don't know. I feel like people might click on it and think it's like a whole 12 minutes of history, which I don't know if that'd be good or bad. Like, I don't know if somebody would be disappointed when it gets to the gameplay. That would be really funny, actually. Or if they just don't want to watch it at all, but would like maybe watch the gameplay. But that might not be the case at all. I don't know. Man, this thing is really effective when everybody you fight is not looking at you, and you can just shoot them in the ammo. Because from experience, this thing's armor does not hold up very well against like anything. Like I think 20 mils can penetrate this, at least in the turret. If they've got like APDS, or I think even like the Martyr 1, like I think it's HVAP round, can penetrate this. You don't have to fight that though, unless you up tier this thing like I do sometimes. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Let's see why they retired this thing. It's not I mean, then they went on to do like the 1,000 light tank concepts with like none of them coming to fruition thing. That's my favorite Congress joke. The idea that the US Army will ever field a light tank again. It's hilarious. That's probably it for this video on the M41 Walker Bulldog. If you made it to this part, thank you. And thank you for watching. Which I guess that's sort of the same thing. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. This was fun to make. Probably gonna make another. Probably gonna keep making these until one of them does something. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thank you.